123, 123. Hey there, people, I'm your friend and able Let's Player SpiderMwa. I welcome you back to Let's Play The Beast Within. The video is a lot later uploaded than it usually would be because I've had a long day. Had to have some serious business to be taken care of, but that's taken care of. I got home late, but now I'm here exploring the Museum of Ludwig II some more. There's gonna be a lot of text being read here. But this is an old school adventure game. You have to do this. You have to read everything that there is. Otherwise you won't progress in the game. You're gonna get points, because that's what Sierra was all about in their adventure games, getting score. But yeah, let's just read what is here.
June 7th, 1886. A group of men arrive at Neuschwanstein Castle demanding to take the king in custody. With them is Dr. Guden, the doctor who had been in charge of Otto, the king's mentally ill brother. The men have an order for the king's arrest on the grounds of insanity. They are refused admittance by a brave group of farmers and local soldiers who have come to Ludwig's aid. They are forced to retreat to nearby Hohenschwangau. This is the first Ludwig hears of the conspiracy. Ludwig composes a pamphlet explaining the subversive acts of the conspirators and eloquently pleading with his people for aid. The pamphlet is smuggled out of Neuschwanstein and printed, but the pamphlets are seized before they can be distributed.
I wonder whose picture that is supposed to be there. Maybe the person who did all the research on this, or representation of Dr. Gooden? I don't know. It doesn't make sense that this picture is here.
June 12th, 1886. Ludwig knows the conspirators will return. He despairs. He asks his servant for the keys to the tower. The servant, fearing the king intends suicide, says the key is lost. Unbeknownst to Ludwig, the conspirators arrive at the castle. This time, there is no one to stop them. Ludwig is lured from his bedroom to the entry hall of Neuschwanstein on pretense. There, he is taken into custody. Ludwig is taken by carriage from Neuschwanstein to Berg, where his brother Otto had long been imprisoned. This is a great blow to the king's state of mind. While on the way, the group stops at Seeshaupt to change horses. Ludwig asks to see the postmistress, Frau Vogel. She brings him a glass of water and he says something to her. She never reveals these last words to anyone.
Rosebud. I'm sure that's what he said. Has to be. I mean, Ludwig was like a Citizen Kane, or of the 19th century. Shut up, I know my history.
June 13th, 1886. At Berg, Ludwig seems cooperative and coherent. Dr. Guden writes to the government that he has Ludwig well under control. The two men go out for a walk, and Dr. Guden is so confident he dismisses the guards. When Ludwig and the doctor do not return after several hours, a search is undertaken. The bodies of the two men are found in the lake, drowned. Circumstances unknown.
So Ludwig get drowned, huh? While being under the care of a psychiatric doctor. Interesting.
June 18th, 1886. Ludwig's funeral procession marches through the streets of Munich, followed by enormous crowds of mourners. The service is held at a packed St. Michael's church. Lightning strikes the church during the service, but no one is harmed. Ludwig's body is entombed in the Wittelsbach crypt at St. Michael's. His heart is placed in an urn in the pilgrimage chapel at Altading in the Wittelsbach tradition. The urn is shown to the right. His heart is in an urn. How bizarre.
Yeah, I've always found that bizarre too, that they would actually take a body part or an organ of a known king or somebody, and they would put that into an urn or other kind of a case, usually it is an urn, and place that somewhere else. I mean, don't you think that's a kind of a degradation against the corpse? don't you think that the soul of the man might come back to haunt because his spirit is not at rest because his body parts are all over the freaking place? Assholes! I don't know, just trying to make a very stupid joke. I hope it worked.
I have no idea what that says. Looks old, though.
It says, Wahrheit, Leben, Sterben, König, Ludwig, zwei, yeah. It's in German. That's what it says. Let's see what else we got here.
Oh my god. That's the slave from my dream.
I almost thought you would say that's the scene from your dream. Well, it is a similar looking sleigh. But I don't remember all these horses and the horsemen and the riders.
Maybe Mrs. Smith will know what my dream meant. I have to ask someone. This thing is getting too weird.
It's a very nice painting.
The midnight sleigh rides. Ludwig went on long sleigh rides in the middle of the night, particularly in his later years. It is said that he suffered from insomnia, headaches, and toothaches, and the rides soothed his restlessness. The sight of the king's grand sleigh speeding through the countryside of the Alps often startled the peasants and became a superstitious omen of ill fortune. I can see why. But what was he doing out there at night?
Well, that says what he was doing there. He suffered from insomnia and other things and soothed his soul. Or maybe he was a werewolf. Ooh! But yeah, that was always the thing back then. People just got the omens and went super superstitious about lots of things what they saw. Just by seeing them, because they couldn't explain it. Science was not very enhanced back then, of course. So, religion was the motive for everything. It was demons, it was ghosts, it was ghouls, it was Donald Trump. I'm being very topical, aren't I? I feel sorry.
Ludwig embarking on his sleigh.
I feel sorry for America today. I mean, seriously. At least what I heard that Trump won. But I don't want to get into politics. Well, it's me, Fork.
Ludwig's death mask. Wow.
There's another freaky thing that I never understood. Death masks. They're really creepy because they really do look like, I mean, that is what exactly the man was supposed to look like. Why did they do that? I don't get it. That just creeps me out, man. It just creeps me out.
Ludwig is Prince Charming. He played the part well.
Oh yes, especially with such great photoshopping. I mean, if that is actually a well-known painting of some royalty, but I don't remember who. They just planted the actors who plays Ludwig here. They just planted his face on the picture there.
I don't have anything to say to her at the moment.
Well, you can say, Auf Wiedersehen, because we're leaving. There's nothing else for us here. Yeah, I thought there would be something on the table there, but apparently not. Auf Wiedersehen. We shall now go to Neuschwanstein. Yeah. Great sound effects. Ah, Neuschwanstein. As picturesque as ever. Oh great, we got tour tapes. Right, because it is a tour here.
I don't think the guards want to be bothered while on duty.
It looks familiar.
These scenes seem to tell a story, but I have no idea what story.
Well, let's listen to the tape. Maybe that will tell us.
The paintings in this room are from the Siegfried saga.
Anything else?
The paintings in this room...
These scenes are from the Siegfried saga.
I wonder if there's a meaning behind them. Why can't I click here? That's weird.
These scenes.
You're just gonna say the same thing no matter where I click.
The paintings in this room.
These scenes are.
Okay. Interesting door.
I wonder where that door leads.
Well, somewhere where you're not supposed to be. Let's find the key. That rhymed. I know. I am that good.
The richly carved bed, with its canopy, resembles a Gothic building in its turrets. The bed's draperies were handmade by dozens of Bavarian seamstresses.
Could you speak up a little bit? The music kinda got loud there, man.
The washstand actually worked by bringing in water from a stream above the castle.
Ooh. Stream above the castles. Nice.
The richly carved bed, with its canopy, resembles a Gothic building in its turrets. The bed's draperies were handmade by dozens of Bavarian seamstresses.
A Gothic building and its turrets.
Maybe Ludwig thought all this luxury would help him sleep.
Probably.
Ludwig sure had a thing for swans.
He sure had a thing for everything flamboyant.
Ludwig sure had a thing for.
I know I wouldn't be able to sleep that well in these kind of things. Too fancy for me. Just give me a plain old mattress and I'll sleep.
Scenes from the opera Tristan and Isolde.
Tristan and Isolde. I think that's by Beethoven? No, could be wrong. I never remember those, especially operas. Never remember them. At least not properly. There's a bird flying over there. There's a signal coming out of the tower. What could it all mean?
Scenes from the opera Tristan and Isolde.
Tristan and Isolde.
I don't think the guards want to be bothered while on duty.
Maybe they don't want to, but let's bother them anyway.
This is the king's living room. The walls are decorated with scenes from the Lohengrin saga.
The
He first saw Wagner's opera Lohengrin when he was 16, and it so affected him that he considered it a form of enlightenment. The tragedy of Lohengrin was his essential loneliness. This, too, was Ludwig's own fate. Ludwig withdrew more and more into his fantasy world of epic heroes and absolute monarchy. An ideal he was determined to create in his castles if he could not have it in his real life. He only wanted to be alone with his dreams, so much so that even his servants were kept at a distance and were not allowed to look at him.
What were you afraid they'd see?
The truth. That there is a guard behind you. Or maybe that they couldn't see his reflection in the mirror. Oh wait, that's a vampire. Eeps. Can't click anywhere. Would like to take a closer look or get some insight.
These linens look seriously expensive and seriously old.
Well, duh. It's a castle turned into a museum. You're kind of just pointing out the obvious here, Grace. Get your brain activity to the max. Guess we're leaving. Bye, guard. Wave bye to the guard, Lady Grace. No. No courtesy here, Grace. No courtesy.
The swan motif is featured throughout the castle, but it is particularly prominent in this room. Both the swan and the lily were symbols Ludwig associated with himself. They represented his ideals of majesty and purity. The painting behind the swan shows Lohengrin's arrival.
Very interesting. A lily and a swan. Huh.
More swans.
You are extremely observant there, Grace. Extremely observant. What the heck is this place?
This is a reproduction of the grotto from the Tannhäuser saga. In such places, Ludwig could pretend he was one of his beloved mythic heroes. As the grotto personifies, the castles were solitary playgrounds built for Ludwig alone. He believed the masses were too coarse to appreciate fine art, and he seldom entertained guests. In fact, Ludwig had a standing order that upon his death, the castles were to be destroyed. Fortunately, the estate was in such debt that the castles were opened for paying tours only weeks after Ludwig's death. They haven't closed since. It is one of the great ironies of Ludwig's story that the castles that he was thought insane for building are now considered Bavaria's finest treasures. They have paid for their construction many times over.
Very interesting, I have to say. Very interesting. And also, apparently, he is a Sith, because that's a lightsaber right there.
I know it's a candle on the table. I'm just making a joke here.
I can almost picture Ludwig in here. I wonder what he really dreamt about in this room.
Use your imagination. I'm sure you can come to a conclusion. There's hints all over the place. Remember the painting in the museum? The sleigh? Swans? Lilies? Operas? The whole world is your imagination, dear Grace. My guard. So the guards move around. I got a feeling that we are going to be using that to our advantage to get through that one certain day.
This is the king's study. Ludwig spent much time at his desk, writing letters, drawing up plans for his projects, and studying his favorite authors. He loved poetry, history, and the classics. In later years, he also studied the occult. What affairs of state he did reluctantly attend to, were generally attended to alone at his desk in writing. His reluctance to meet with his heads of state and perform the duties of the king were one of the reasons for the charges brought against him in 1886. But Ludwig dreamt of true kingship and a true monarchy, and the small powers left to him after Bavaria succeeded power to Prussia only incited his disdain and frustration.
Yeah, you get out of here, guard. We don't need you.
The study paintings depict scenes from the Tannhäuser saga and the Wartburg castle.
Very interesting. He really liked his operas and such. And plays and everything. So Ludwig was a very artistic man. But I'm gonna leave it here, and we're gonna continue our tour around the castles and more next time, because it's gonna take a long time for me to edit this, and I gotta edit this and upload the video before I start my live stream. So I hope you all enjoyed, and I hope you all have a good evening, good afternoon, and a good morning, and I will see you all next time. Take care, people. Bye.